Alright, so it's December 29th, 2013, and we have a few days left to go in the year. We got the 29th, the rest of the day, 30th, 31st, so 3 days. And I'm actually in Cleveland, Ohio right now, and my brother-in-law is actually sleeping next door, so I'm trying not to wake him up too. So I came up here just to see my sister and brother-in-law and their family, and we went to Planet Fitness, and I ran on the treadmill for the first time today. So I ran 6 miles on the treadmill. I didn't have really good success with that little what do they call it, the foot pod or whatever whatever that thing is called. I think it's foot pod. Whenever it's one that you can put in your shoe. It's a little oval shaped one, and it syncs up to the Nike Plus watch. And when you're indoors, your GPS doesn't work, so it syncs between the little pod and your watch, and it determines like velocity and like how fast you're running and about how far you're going and all that. So that didn't really work for me. I don't think I really understood how to get them to sync up. I think there's a button on the bottom side of the little shoe pod that you have to push in and hold while your watch is trying to sync. I found this out like afterwards, but I'll send Nike Plus a message and have them put it in there for my time and my distance and all. Other than that, I was up for almost about 30 hours. I just got up from like a little 2-hour nap here. So I had run last night. I ran just like 3.16 miles, and then ran 6 miles today. And pause. But the podcast that I mentioned, Life According to Brothers, with my brother Cory, where we had recorded our first episode the other day and have it scheduled to be posted through our media host on January 1st. Well, I got an embed code when I scheduled that episode to be published, and it said the embed code wouldn't be active until January 1st at 5 a.m. Well, I put it on my webpage and everything else, and it turns out it's actually active now. So we've already had about 18 people download or listen to the episode straight from the website, because I have the audio player is embedded with that code, and you just listen to it straight on the website. So it's more like streaming it. So 18 people have streamed our podcast episode so far straight from our website, from the Libsyn, which is the media host that we use. And that's pretty interesting, because this morning, I uploaded it last night, and then I had like 7 listens this morning, and now there are 18 listens, and so that's, for me, 18 may not be a big number for a lot of people, or for some people, but you just think that's 18 other individuals that have listened to it. And I think there's been some from Missouri and Maine, and then here in Ohio. So that's pretty interesting, and it's just the first day that it's been up, and I think I haven't even been able to submit it to iTunes yet, because the podcast episode hasn't been released or published yet on the Libsyn server to the general public. In iTunes, in order to submit your podcast for that, there must be at least one episode that they can see that is a public episode that everyone can see. So they got to be able to verify your feed and that it's working and everything. So I can't submit the podcast to iTunes yet, and I won't be able to until January 1st, sometime after midnight. 12 o'clock in the morning on January 1st. So I won't be able to do that for probably any of the other podcast, podcatchers out there, like Stitcher and iTunes and Blueberry and all these different places. So that is what it is. It'll give me a little bit of time. I have a list of all the directories that I submitted my podcast exposing me to, and some of them you had to have at least 10 episodes to submit your podcast to that, and I hadn't gone back to submit Exposing Me to those directories yet. And I have 21 episodes up on Exposing Me now. Because I early this morning, it was like 3 something this morning, I recorded an episode of Exposing Me, and this one was talking about Life According to Brothers, this new podcast with my brother Cory, and then it talked a little bit about the website as well, which you can go to LATB, Life According to Brothers, podcast.com, or you can type out lifeaccordingtobrothers.com. Either way, it'll take you to the same website. And it's still in development, but it's there. You can see what it is, you can see how it's beginning, and then later on down the road you'll see what it becomes and kind of see the process it's in, the process that it goes through. And so I talked about that, and then I also mentioned a little bit about running in that podcast episode for Exposing Me. And it's called Life According to Brothers and Personal Health Education. That's the title of the episode 21. You can go to Exposing Me. It's xposingme.com/21, and that'll take you to the show notes and everything in there. And has some funny pictures. We have some funny pictures that we had taken while we were, once we finished recording the other day. So I'll be putting those up here and there, like on the Facebook page. And in the description of this, I'll put links to the Facebook page as well as the website. And then I talked about my business, which is Fed Services, or Personal Health Education Services. And at the end of the podcast episode for Exposing Me, I go into a little bit more detail than I have in the past about what it is, what I want to do, and why I want to do it. It's not excruciating detail, and that'll be for another time, or sprinkled about in various episodes of it. And then I'm actually going to have a podcast for my business where the very first episode I'm planning, that's where I'm going to be explaining everything, so people will be able to get like the full idea of it. And then I'll start doing teaching and free content and things like that on the podcast for the business. So I talked about those kind of things. And I'm going to stop this vlog now because it's over 7.5 minutes. So that's it for today. Leave comments, get a hold of me, let me know what you want me to vlog about tomorrow. If you have any topic ideas, anything you want to know, anything you want my opinion on, or just to see what I think about it, whether it's nursing related or podcasting related or writing or running or just general life or whatever, check out Life According to Brothers, LATBpodcast.com. Listen to the episode there. It is called Coping with Life. And of course we talk about a situation with a lady and how she's dealing with it right now. Losing her home, her job, gaining 3 kids, her 3 gaining kids on top of her one child, and kind of what we did for her this Christmas and things like that. So, all right, 8.5 minutes. I gotta go. I will talk to you all tomorrow.